Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Lefebvre and today we are doing our last Valentine's Day themed video. So we really hope you guys enjoy it. So let's just jump in and get started. Okay friends, so for our last Valentine's Day themed video, I thought I would do a floral bouquet in a vase because you know what? I haven't done one in a very long time and I want to go back to my floral roots a bit. So I am painting in my Academy watercolor paper pad, which is honestly almost done. I have my Shinhan watercolor paints. I have a couple round brushes here, water, paper towel, and we're ready to go. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I kind of just want to sketch out my vase a little bit. So I just want to do this kind of like almost like a jug. And we're going to do like a cute little heart pattern on it after. Now I'm not wanting this to be like super detailed and perfect. It's going to be a little bit more on the loose side. So just have fun with it. I'm just going to do kind of like this round shape and then some sort of bottom to it. Maybe it can be like in a little like jug. Do a little lip here like that. We can do like a little handle like so. Just make it simple. Okay. And then we're going to start with the flowers. So we're going to do typical kind of red and pink and little bits of flowers. Maybe we'll put some hearts in there. I don't know. We're going to see how this goes. Okay. So I want to start off with some pink, maybe more like I don't want them to be specific flowers necessarily. I just kind of want to keep it loose and fun. So actually, no, I'm not going to start off with pink. I'm going to start off with like a reddish rose because I feel like I just want to go with my bigger flowers first. So I'm just going to start, I'm going to change up how I usually do this. I'm going to start with kind of like a blob here. I got to make it a lot lighter. A light wash of like a blob, a very uneven circle. And we're going to let that dry. Then I'm going to do like another one over here, just a smaller one. I don't love red roses, but I feel like they're very Valentine's Day-y. Like that. It might add a little bit more like red like that. But we're going to do the detail in the rose after. Okay. Now I kind of want to do some pink, whimsical kind of flowers. So I'm going to do just like these little petal shapes, and I'm trying to make it nice and light. Okay, so I'm just adding more water to my brush because I want them to be nice and light. And I'm just doing these like really loose kind of like, I don't even know, petals? I don't know. But I know I'm going to connect them with like some sort of stem and it's going to look cute. That's what I know. Very loose, kind of scribbly petals. Okay, then I'm going to grab a little bit more pink and just kind of tap it in there so you have a little bit of darkness to them. Maybe it's kind of like a delphinium-ish where it's going to be like a stalk of flowers there. I think I'm going to do some white flowers too, just to kind of balance it off. But yeah, let's do some white flowers. So I'm going to grab like a really light wash of gray, really light wash. And maybe I'll do kind of like a daisy. So I'm just going to do these longer petals. Again, I'm not worrying too much about it. I'm just doing these kind of almost like these loops for the petals. And if they bleed a little bit into the other flowers, that's okay. I'm going to grab a little bit more color and just tap a little bit closer towards the center. Like that. This one is more fully open, so you can see the petals kind of going all the way around. I'm going to do another one where it's kind of like on its side, or like you just see a little bit of it. So I'm going to have these like loops. So imagine like the center's here, and I'm just going to do kind of loops kind of coming out to the side so it's a bit more flat. Very loose like that, honestly. Not worrying too much about it. And then I might do one more just because I like to work in threes usually. I'm going to have one kind of pointing up. So imagine the center's here. And a lot of them are there, and then shorter ones on this side. It's gonna look better, I promise. Okay, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit of darkness towards the center. Like that. Okay, we're done with those. Then I wanna bring some more of these like pink ones in here just to kind of fill up this area. So again, just like these scribbly, I'm leaving a little bit like, so here, see how here there's like a little white center? That's kind of the center of the flower. And then there's just these scribbly little petals around. And any ones that don't necessarily have a center, maybe it's a side view. I'm not going to do too many, but just a bit, just to kind of fill it up. Okay. Then I'm going to start putting in some greenery. So I'm going to use my undersea green here, just because I like it. And I'm going to do some bigger, kind of jagged rose leaves here, kind of flopping over the side of this jug. So I'm just kind of making it very scribbly. Scribbly is my word right now. Okay, I'm going to have another one here. Like, does it look like a leaf? Barely, right? It's kind of weird. It's all good though. I'm gonna grab a little bit more darker color and just tap it in there. Maybe I'll have another one over here. And I'm just making the edges very jagged. Okay. Then I think I want to do like a little bit of jaggedness under this rose here. The roses look like nothing right now, but they will, I promise. Okay. Then I'm just going to change up the greens a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of blue, a little bit of olive green. And I'm going to do a little bit of green under those white flowers and then a stem coming down, stem coming down, stem coming down. And then the same with this one. Actually, I want this stem to be a bit more olive green. It's going to kind of come up through these pink flowers. I actually feel like I should have done this while they were still wet. That's okay. I usually like a really nice color bleed, but I forgot to do it. And I'm going to have like another stem up here. And I'm just going to kind of fill in a little bit of stems here with a bit of greenery. A little bit of buds up there. And then I'm going to do a couple more leaves here. So anywhere where it looks like there's kind of a bit of too much white space, a bit of bareness, I'm going to add some greenery. I'm going to do like a little stem here popping out, a little bit of greenery, maybe even just leaves, some floppy leaves just to fill it in. I do want to fill a lot of this white space in. Okay. Once we do the details on the flowers, it's going to pop out way more and look a lot more put together, I promise. Just fill in that green. Okay. Now I'm going to work on the roses because they're looking a little flat here. All right. So we're going to grab some red. It's more vibrant. And I'm going to start by doing little kind of curves. And they're going to slowly get bigger as we go around. We want to maintain that lightness too, though, right? Because that's kind of like the highlights of the petals. And what we're putting in right now are the shadows. So it's kind of like these curves. The shadows and the light parts are the light parts of the the rose. Okay, I'm gonna actually grab a little bit of dark green and mix it with my red. And I'm gonna add a little bit more, oops, it's too much. A little bit more darkness to some of these shadows, like that. Okay, see how that kind of comes to life now? Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other little one. Okay, really light, kind of scribbly curves going around. Then they start to get bigger. Now I'm going to grab my darker green or my darker red. Like that. Okay, and there's our roses. Now for those pink ones, I'm going to just, not too dark, add a little bit of shadow towards like the base of some of them. You can even kind of carve out a little bit of the petal shapes, like go around them, just for a little bit more detail. But again, it doesn't have to be like realistic detail. We're just kind of adding these darker lines in there to define some of the flowers and the petals. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit more like that. And this also just adds more color because we did a really light wash to begin with, right? So it's kind of looking a little flat, not as bright. Okay, like I still couldn't tell you where the center of this is. We're just really winging it here, making it so loose and almost kind of abstract, you know? But you're giving it this petal shape and these shadows that are really making it stand out. Okay, I'm going to do the centers after once that's dry. Okay. And then our daisy kind of flowers here. I'm just going to use my smaller brush for this, my size 4. I'm going to start with a lighter yellow in the center, like that. And I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to grab my gray again. So to mix black, I don't remember if I mentioned this, I mixed a little bit of burnt sienna with some indigo. That's how I make my gray. And I'm just going to do a little bit of extra darker lines, especially closest to the center. You can do some kind of coming up the centers of the petals for a bit of like a shadow. But again, making it very loose and kind of sketchy. But the most shadow is going to be right by that center. And we'll even deepen it a bit more in a bit. Okay, I'm going to grab a bit more, make it a slightly bit darker. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna grab some of my yellow and just tap it into the center of some of these. Like that. All right. Then I'm gonna grab a little bit of yellow ochre, which is a darker yellow. And I'm just gonna do tiny little dots on the center of these flowers to give it a little bit of shadow, but also texture. Like that. Then I even like to grab some brown sometimes, some burnt sienna. Add that on there too. It just takes it a step further of really deepening those shadows. Like so. Okay, and I might even grab a little bit of green and really go around some of those petals to make it stand out a bit more. Just do some like little leaves or something behind. make it even darker. And while I have some dark green, I'm actually going to add some darkness to some of these leaves. Just like a little bit of like a shadow scribble, or even like a little vein going down the center. But really kind of deepening it, especially right at the base of the leaf where it's touching another flower or another leaf. And I'm just like scribbling, honestly. But I just want to deepen some of these greens that are closest to our flowers. It'll allow the flowers to really pop out. I even have this shadow green that's a really nice dark green. A little bit of dark green under some of these. See how it's already popping out so much? You can add even just like little sprigs of dark green too, just for a bit more contrast. Like, why not? I like it. I want a little bit more darkness in here. You can add some lines on your leaves if you like. And then I need to add a little bit more darker green right under here where the jug is going to kind of be right there. Maybe a little bit of a leaf over here. Okay. Like so. Okay, so our flowers are looking pretty good, but now we got to do something with this jug. Just going to darken one more bit around here. And I'm putting my hand in some paint. Okay, hold on. Okay, now we got to do the jug. So I think I want to keep it simple-ish. I think I want to do like a creamy color, like a creamy light brown-ish pink. I'm going to grab some burnt sienna, a little bit of indigo, a little bit of pink, and I'm a little bit more pink. And I'm going to really water it down over the whole thing. Then I'm just adding more water to make it a really light wash of this color. It's like a peachy beige. Now, obviously, you can do whatever color you like. You do not have to do the same thing as me. This is kind of like a flesh tone, isn't it? Now I'm like second guessing myself. This kind of looks a little weird. That's fine. Maybe a little bit more pink to it. I don't think that helped. We're going to put little hearts on this anyway, so it's going to be fine. Okay. There's our little handle. There we go. Let's make it a bit more pink. Or brown, maybe? So I'm just going to add a little bit more burnt sienna. Yeah, let's do a little bit more burnt sienna and pink. And I'm just going to kind of outline a little bit. Just give it a little bit more color around. Anytime you're ever doing like a jug or something that like a round object, make sure when you're going across, you're not going straight across, you're doing this kind of curve. So it gives more movement to that piece. It really makes a difference. Okay. Don't know if I love the color. It's fine. Kind of want a bit more pink to it. But now we have to add a bit more shadow, especially right under where the flowers are. And I want it to be a little bit more grayish, the shadow. So I'm just going to get a little bit of a blue in there almost. to deepen some of the shadows. I don't know. I'm also kind of going over some of those leaves, so it's looking a little weird. They're not standing out like they should. Hold on. Maybe I should get blue. Bit more like ultramarine. I feel like that's one area I lack, is like picking a complementary color for some things. Like I love the flowers, but then also like the vase is a little bit weird. I also feel like this jug part is kind of off. Does that look more like a jug? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like the blue undertone for this shadow. I'm gonna add some of the shadow here. Some of the shadow down here. I feel like it needs to blend a bit more. I'm gonna wash off my brush, dry it, kind of blend that shadow out. Again, I'm not worrying too much about making it like super detailed and perfect. I'm kind of scribbling in a lot of senses. Like I'm just throwing colors there, making the lines like they're imperfect, a bit more sketchy looking. I don't know. Don't love the color of the jug. We're gonna work with it, okay? Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a second, because then I'm gonna put some hearts on the jug, I think. Okay, also while this is drying a bit, I feel like the bouquet is lacking a bit, like it could be a bit fuller over here. So I'm quickly gonna add another like flower behind here. Maybe it can be like another rose. So I'm just trying to go around some of these leaves and stuff. It's just looking a little kind of flat back here, like that. Maybe do a little bit of those pink kind of flowers, maybe buds. Maybe a bit over here too. I feel like it could just look a little bit fluffier, if that makes sense. Fluffier. Fuller is probably the better term. Fluffier. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of pink up here. Little buds. Why not? Okay. I think up here too. Just want it to be fuller. Go around this. It's also going to make some of these flowers stand out. Just adding some darker red in there, like honestly. Just trying to make it as full as I can. And when you go around those other flowers, it really makes those ones in the foreground like this pop out. Okay, a little bit more greenery. This one needs a bit more. Maybe this can be like another rose. Like that. Okay. Just filling it up there. Okay, I do want to deepen some of the shadows like right under here. I feel like it's looking a little too light. So I am just going to add a little bit of like the ultramarine and black a bit, and then just blend it out a little bit. I gotta fix this leaf too. Okay, then I want to do just some little hearts. Okay, actually, you want to make them lighter on the lightest part of the jug. So right here, there's a lot of highlight. So I'm going to try and make it a little bit, oh, still too dark. And then as you reach the other sides of the jug, they'll start to get darker and darker in the shadows. So these ones should be darker. Add a little bit of green to them so it looks like they're shadowy reds. Grab a little bit of blue even. Why don't we just kind of outline a bit? I don't know. But there we go. Something just a little bit more loose and sketchy, but fun and very festive. So there we go. There is our Valentine's Day florals. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the theme this week of all these fun Valentine's Day videos. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Follow me on all my other platforms for tons more content, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys. Bye.